All right, what to save for. So it's important. I want you guys to think about and imagine some things you want to save for. Keep in mind your short-term as well as long-term goals. Short-term would be maybe, a down payment on a car, or save up to pay for new furniture, or to save for a vacation. Long-term is going to be saving for retirement, saving for down payment on a home, saving for college, for children, etc. And so that all of us hopefully have some goals or ideas of what we want to save money for. And these goals and desires, if we can vision those of how we're going to live in retirement, or going on that vacation, or paying cash, 100% cash for a new car, these are our stronger yeses. These goals that then allow us to say no to these immediate desires that we have when we want to go out with friends all the time or do something and spend money. It's not bad to spend money, but if it's, we need to decide what things should we spend money, and then what do we want to save for. And so it's easier to say no to the now if we have stronger yeses, these reasons. So can a couple of you give maybe one goal that you have? What's a reason that you have to save? Why do you want to save? Or what is it that you want to save for? So a lot of you kind of retirement, some emergency fund, um, a home purchase, wedding, vacations in there. Yeah, Isabel said she's been in situations that happened and didn't have the money. So that is a huge motivator, because we don't want to be caught in some of those situations. And so if we know and we can see and we can feel what would happen if we have an emergency fund, and then some catastrophe hits, we need to downsize, or we need to, we don't get enough money, or just the brakes go out in the car that we weren't expecting, or something happens, instead of being paycheck to paycheck and having nothing there and having to go in debt, saying, hey, I have this emergency fund for these type of situations, and paying for it and continuing on with our lives with just a hiccup instead of a giant mountain. That feels good to have and to see thousands of dollars in our savings account as emergency fund, to see tens of thousands of dollars growing at an increased pace in our retirement account, to see the money there when we go on vacation to pay cash instead of putting it on a credit card and then paying for it 1.5 times because we have to pay interest. It feels good, and it's exciting to save money. So why don't we save? We don't know where our money goes. We want too many things, right? And we blame others, like, I need a raise. If only I had a raise. I just, all of my expenses are needs. I don't have any wants. They're all needs, right? So what about you guys? Do these ring true? Or are there a couple other answers of reasons why you don't save? You don't save because of vacations? Oh, no, that's what she wants to save for. Children, helping children. Yeah, different debts and loans. Hard to keep track of it. Unexpected things that could have been used by an emergency fund. Very good. Anybody have any great ideas of how to overcome these barriers in order to save? What techniques could we do to overcome these issues that are on the screen and that you've mentioned of why we don't save? How can we overcome that to start saving? So Isabel says, cut back on spending, designate a certain amount to save, learning to live simply. Yeah, more simple, right? We'll talk about that at the very end, about living more simply. Having money taken out automatically, decreasing our eating out and entertainment. So Great, those are great ideas. So we're going to talk a little bit more about self-awareness and mindfulness. We're going to go to a YouTube video. I want you guys to watch this, and maybe some of you have seen it, but this marshmallow is not a marshmallow. For you, it's whatever it is you're tempted to buy, a vacation or a car or whatever. And if you delay and save, then what do you get? So let's watch this. You guys hear it? Can you hear the video?
Okay, sit in that chair. All right, here's the deal. Marshmallow for you. You can either wait, and I'll give you another one if you wait, or you can eat it now. When I come back, I'll give you another one, so then you'll have two. But stay in here and stay in the chair till I come back, okay? All right. I'm gonna go do something and then I'll come back.
It smells yummy. It smells really good.
All right, so it's up to you. You can have it now or you can wait. Okay? I'll be back. Stay in the chair, okay? Okay.
You see how that kid was visualizing taking a bite but didn't? Or some of those kids not looking at the marshmallow but still feeling that it's there. Pretend that that marshmallow is whatever it is you want, your vacation, or let's just say a car. You can go test drive it maybe, but you don't need to buy it until you save up some cash so you can pay for it. Let's see how these kids do. Uh-oh. Kid's good. He's good at delaying gratification.
All right, so I'm gonna leave and then I'll come back, okay? So you can either eat it right now or you can wait. Either way, okay? Okay. How'd you do? Did you do good? You did?
Yeah.
You wanted to eat it, didn't you? Yeah. So did I tell you to give you another one? Okay, now you can have both. You need them.
All right, so if they waited, they got two, and they probably had to wait for like 15 minutes, which if it's yummy to them, that's like an eternity, right? So my question to you guys is, what is your marshmallow? What are the marshmallows in your life? And what can you do to set yourself up to win? What are the beneficial outcomes to you if you wait for your marshmallows rather than like a couple of those little girls that eat it right away? So marshmallow could be savings. Yeah, saving, right? By the way, this was done, I think, back in the 60s and 70s or 60s, and they followed these kids 20 years, and the children who waited who delayed gratification instead of having to have instant gratification had better life outcomes, including higher SAT scores and scholastic performance. They had less substance abuse. There were fewer behavioral problems. They had better social skills, and they were able to better cope with stress. So there's a lot of beneficial outcomes for us if we can delay gratification. And yet as adults, sometimes we want it now, and so we have to, we're like the kid that started eating it before the girl left the room. She just started eating it. And Dave Ramsey says it's human nature to want it and want it now. It is also a sign of immaturity. Being willing to delay pleasure for a greater result is a sign of maturity. However, our culture teaches us to live for the now. I want it, we scream, and we can get it if we are willing to go into debt. Debt is a means to obtain the I want it's before we can afford them. He says change is painful. Most people won't change until the pain of where they are exceeds the pain of change. So hopefully, instead of waiting until that pain is to the point where we just are fed up with being in, having no savings and living paycheck to paycheck that we want to change, hopefully we can instead visualize the benefit and what it would be like to have savings, to save for a car, to save for a vacation, to save for retirement. And because of that vision and how great it will be, we have more control now instead of waiting for that pain point. And so some of the attributes of people, this is from the research, of people that are good at saving, are they're willing to forego current spending to set aside money for their future self. Again, getting to that and visualizing the future self. They live below their means and pay themselves first. In other words, they put some money aside before they pay any expenses, and then they pay their fixed expenses, those mandatory ones, and live off the rest and their variable expenses, which would be kind of gas and groceries and home improvements or items for the home, etc. Living off the rest, paying ourselves first. If we pay ourselves last and do all of our expenses and save what's left over, there's never anything left over because our expenses tend to fill our income. Even if we get a raise, then our expenses go up and fill our income. We get double our money, our expenses go higher and fill our income. So they keep filling our income unless we protest to the contrary. So living below their means and paying themselves first, they make it automatic. People who are good at savings, another attribute is distinguishing between needs and wants. They have financial goals, this bigger yes, so they can say no to the less important immediate needs. And then, like we've been talking about, they see their potential future, and that benefit outweighs the current wants. And so it's all about motivation. If it's motivating enough to pay cash for the vacation, to have money for retirement, or to retire early, or whatever it is, then we can have power to say no to the less important immediate needs. So for you guys, what are some things that motivates you to save? What would motivate you? Having some financial peace of mind when emergencies hit, paying off debt, freedom. Yeah, a lot of times we think that a budget is restrictive and it's kind of like having handcuffs on. But really, not knowing where your money goes and never having money when emergencies come, that's bondage. I mean, that's more restrictive and oppressive. When we know where our money's going and we can choose where we want it to go and we have enough, and as we spend it, we're happy because we know that we have enough because it's in our budget, that's freedom. That's, having peace of mind. It also saves on a lot of arguments in marriage. My wife and I, if we didn't have a budget, would be arguing about money all the time.